Hi friends, uh, yesterday we are discussing vectors. We learned uh, what we learned yesterday. We learned resolution of a vector. Now in today's class, we are going to see angle between the two vectors, how we can measure, and addition of vectors. In today's class, we are going to learn angle between the vectors, how we can measure, and how we can add vectors. Angle between the vectors. Angle between the vectors. How we can measure? See, let it be there are two vectors. Let it be A bar and this is B bar. B bar. This, how we can measure angle between these two vectors? So, these two vectors you redrawn such that the tails are joined together. In a coordinate system, this vector A is drawn, which has equal vectors. Equal vectors. This is the first vector, A bar, which has same magnitude and direction, A bar, and B bar. B bar will be in this direction. So, B bar will be in this direction. So, this is angle between the two vectors. Angle between the two vectors, A bar and B bar. Let it be theta. So, when you are going to measure the angle between the two vectors, this is the tail. This is head of the first vector. This is tail of the first vector, head of the second vector. So, how we can measure angle between the two vectors? Choose a coordinate system. Choose a coordinate system, x axis and xy plane. You draw the first vector as it is, starting the tail of the vector with origin, and the second vector is also starts from origin. So, it should represent in the same direction. So, same direction. Then these two tails are joined here. Then this angle between these two, we can call it as angle between the vectors. This angle between the two vectors, this theta should be this angle between the two vectors. It is less than or equal to 0 or 180 degrees. So, it should be lies between 0 and 180s. That means it should not exceed 180 degrees. Say, take these examples. Find angle between the vectors. Take this example. Find angle between the vectors. Vectors. First vector, let it be origin. First vector, A bar, which makes with x axis. This is 45 degrees. Second vector, x axis is the reference. This is again 30 degrees. This is B vector. There is another vector C vector, which is 45 degrees, this angle. Now, my question is, here you draw this one C vector in another, here. This is reference with the x axis. So, again you take this reference x axis. You draw this vector. This angle is 30 degrees. Let it be. This is the vector C, 30 degrees. 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Now, I will change this one with this vector, change let it be C vector, which is 120 degrees with x-axis. With x-axis. Now, find angle between the vectors. My question is first question, between the vectors A and B. Second one, between B and C vectors. Third one, angle between A bar and C bar. This is the question. So, how we can answer? These are the three given vectors. This is the first vector A bar, which makes an angle 45 degrees with x-axis. This is the second vector B bar, which makes an angle 30 degrees with x-axis. But this is in anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. So, what is angle between these two vectors? To determine angle between A and B, you draw, see, first vector as it is, A bar, which is 45 degrees with x-axis. Now, second vector B bar, this is x-axis. You join the tail of the second vector with the tail of the first vector. So, this is vector B bar, which makes an angle 30 degrees with x-axis. So, 30 degrees. So, what is angle between A bar and B bar? The answer is 30 plus 45. So, the answer is 75 degrees. Angle between A bar and B bar. Now, I want angle between B bar and C bar. B bar and C bar. So, you draw similarly. This is our reference x-axis. So, I will draw here. So, first I take the reference x-axis. The first vector I drawn B bar. This is the first vector B bar, which makes an angle 30 degrees with the x-axis. Now, the C vector, which is 120 degrees with x-axis. So, this is x-axis. This is you join with like this. This is C vector. So, it is 120 with x-axis. So, if it is 120, then what is this angle? 120 minus this is 120 with x-axis. Now, what is angle between B bar and C bar? It is 120 minus 30. How much it is? 120 minus 30, 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So, this angle is 90 degrees. This angle is 90 degrees. That means these two vectors are perpendicular to each other. Now, the angle between we want A bar and C bar. A bar and C bar. So, draw the x-axis reference, draw the first vector A bar, which makes an angle 45 degrees with x-axis in anti-clockwise in this direction. Second vector C bar, we want angle between A bar and C bar. C bar is here, so which makes an angle 120 degrees with the x-axis. So, this is C. Now, you may get doubt. This is 120. So, what is angle between A bar and C bar? 120 plus 45. How much? You have to add these two. Angle between A bar and C bar is 120, here to here 120 plus 45. So, that becomes 120 plus 45, it will get 165. So, angle between them. You may get a doubt. Why not this angle? How much this angle? 360. 360 minus it is 165. How much? 5 degrees. It is 9 and 195 degrees, because total is 165 plus 195 becomes 360. Okay. So total angle should be 360 degrees. So it will become 195. This is angle between A bar and C bar. You joined tails. Here it is 195. Here it is 165. Then which one you have to take angle between the A bar and C bar? Is it 195 or 165? You may get doubts. So which one is the answer? So angle between the two vectors should be less than 180 degrees. So you should take 165 or you have 195. 195. So this 195 is the wrong answer. 165 is the right answer because angle between the vectors is, it should be lies between 0 and 180 degrees. Clear? This one is angle between the vectors. Next one is addition of vectors. The next one is addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. How we can add vectors? As we discussed from principle of homogeneity, this 3 kg mass plus 4 kg mass, it gives 7 kg mass. So kg is a unit of mass. Mass is a scalar quantity. So we can add as it is. Similarly, 10 seconds minus 5 seconds gives 5 seconds. The second is a unit of time. Time. So if you subtract second from second, you will get second. This is, so you can add or subtract if these two quantities should have same units and dimensions. That is called the principle of homogeneity. Similarly, if you add two vectors, this is addition of scalars. Time is also a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. But 3 newtons plus 4 newtons, is it 7 newtons? It is a wrong. This statement is because Newton is a unit of force. SI unit of force. SI unit of force. Force is a vector quantity. So you should not add like this. So 3 newtons plus 4 newtons, answer should be how much? X newtons. This value of x newtons, it is x newtons, it is less than or equal to, 4 minus 3, 1 newton, and less than or equal to 7 newtons. So if you add 3 newtons and 4 newtons, you will get x newtons. The value of x should also be force from principle of homogeneity. So you can add this during this addition, 3 newtons and 4 newtons, it is x, its value should be lies between 1 newton and 7 newtons. 4 minus 3, 1, 3 plus 4, 7 newtons. That means this value, x value, that is after adding this one, you will get a resultant. That x is called resultant. That resultant, what is a resultant? After adding two vectors, you will get a vector. That resultant is this after getting vector, that vector is called resultant. So that resultant value lies between minima and it lies between 1 Newton and 7 Newtons. This resultant depends on not only magnitudes of vectors, depends on not only magnitude of vectors but angle between them. It also depends on angle but also depends on angle between them. So if you want to add vectors, you should not add as we are doing scalars. So here after adding you will get one vector, that is called resultant. That resultant value depends not only the magnitude of vectors, that means it depends on magnitude of the vectors, but also depends on angle between them. Okay. Let us see how we are adding these vectors. For this addition, we have geometric methods. There are different methods. The first one is geometric method. Second one is components method. Third one is parallelogram law. Of addition of vectors. Fourth one is triangle law. Fifth one is polygon law. So for addition of vectors, there are different methods. The first one is geometric method and components method, parallelogram law, triangle law, polygon law. So a vector, it should have magnitude and direction, and also it should obey the laws of vector addition. Then only it will become a vector quantity. And now we will see the first few methods we are going to see. The first one is geometrical method. What is this method says? If you want to add two vectors, a bar and b bar, let a bar, b bar be the two vectors. I want to add vectors. So a bar and b bar. If a bar plus b bar, you will get a resultant c bar. That's it. Resultant c bar, you will get a resultant c bar. That c is called resultant. After adding these two, you will get a vector. That vector is, we can call it as resultant. It one is also a vector quantity. Adding vector plus vector, it gives vector from principle of homogeneity. So if you want to add these two vectors, see, draw the first, let it be, this is the first vector, a bar. This is the second vector, b bar, let it be. So you can take in any directions. Vector may possess, inherently it will possess in any direction. Let it be a bar. Okay. Now you draw the first vector as it is. That is, I want to add this vector. So draw the first vector as it is. So that is equal vectors. It should have, I want to add these two. Draw the first vector as it is. It should represent same direction and should have same magnitude. So then it will become equal vector. Draw the first vector and draw the second vector. Draw the second vector from head of the first vector. This is tail of the first vector, head of the first vector. You draw this tail of the second vector. This is head of the second vector. So you draw the tail of the first vector. See, this is a B bar. How I start this B bar? It is tail I joined with the head. This is the tail. Tail of the second vector I joined with the head of the first vector. Then this is the head of the second vector. Now you join the tail of the first vector to head of the second vector. This gives resultant of the given two vectors. C bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. So this method is called a geometric method. What it says? Draw the first vector as it is, which represents both magnitude and direction, and draw the second vector from head of the first vector, and this is which represents second vector both in magnitude and direction as that of the given vector. Then draw another vector. This is the third vector from tail of the first vector to head of the second vector. This is the third vector, C bar, which represents resultant of these two vectors. This method is called geometric method. To understand this, you take this example. Okay, based on this, we are going to do a problem. Problem. A body moves from a point 1 1 1 1 to 3 4 5. Find displacement vector. Find displacement of the body. So this is the problem. Okay. So how we can solve this one? So these are the coordinates of the body or particle. First, represent in the coordinate system x, y, z axis. So its coordinates are, it moves from a point 1 1 1, let it be, this is a point A, 1 1 1, and this is the point B, let it be coordinates 3 4 5. Okay. So this is A and B. So this will be, if you starts from origin, then it will become position vector of the first one, R1 bar. So the OA bar represents the position of the particle or body initially, that is A. So I choose the initial point A. This is the initial point. Initial point, that is starting point A, 1 1 1. So it's a position vector. We can represent it as R bar is equal to, it is represented in terms of position vector OA bar that is R1 bar. How we can write? X I cap, so 1 I cap plus 1 j cap plus 1 k cap. So we can represent the position vector. This is 1. There is no need of writing here 1. So 1 into I cap becomes I cap only. So this can be also be written as R1 is equal to I cap plus j cap plus k cap. This is the position vector of the first point, OA bar. Now this is the second vector R bar. Let it be. So R bar is B bar. So final point is B. Final point B, which is 3, 4, 5. How we can represent in terms of vector OB bar? That is position vector. Let it be R2. So R2 bar is equal to, how we can represent position vector as X 3 I cap plus Y 4 j cap plus Z 5 k cap. This is second vector, final point. We want a displacement A to B, okay, A to B. We want this vector. So use a triangle law. So there are 3 vectors, see, R1 bar, R2 bar, this is R2 bar, OB bar and AB bar. So we want AB bar, displacement. What is a displacement? Shortest distance between initial and final positions. So this AB bar is the displacement. So how we can write? So these 3 vectors, see, we can write it as from triangle law. This is, let it be a first vector, second vector and third vector. So from geometry of addition of vectors, these are the 3 vectors, OA, AB and OB. So these 2 vectors, draw this is the first vector taken in order, OA and AB. It is reverse to this, resultant is reverse to this, it will be in this direction. So from geometric addition of vectors, what we have? OA bar, first vector, second vector I take it as AB bar, that is starts from head of the first vector, this is the tail of the second vector, AB bar. I take this one is second vector and this one is the resultant of these 2. So OA bar plus AB bar is equal to OB bar. OB bar. This is from triangle law. So we want AB bar. So AB bar is equal to, you bring this one this side, OB bar minus OA bar. Okay. So what is this? OB bar. OB bar is R2 bar minus R1 bar. That is R2 bar. I want AB bar. So AB bar is the displacement of the vector. I write it as S bar is equal to, is given by R2 minus R1 bar. Okay. So what is R2? 3 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 5 k cap. So this is R2 bar, 3 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 5 k cap minus, this is minus first one R1 bar, I cap brackets I cap plus j cap plus k cap. So what you will get? I will write here S bar is equal to 3 I cap minus I cap. It will become 3 minus 1, 2 I cap, 4 j cap minus j cap. You subtract, minus of plus becomes minus, 4 minus 1, 3. So it is 3 j cap plus 5 k cap minus k cap. It will become 4 k cap. So this is the displacement vector. If you want magnitude of the displacement is square root of 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square. That is 2 square 4, 3 square 9 plus 4 square 16. That is 20, 16 plus 4 20, root to 29 meters. So this is the displacement of the body, root to 29 meters. If you want to express in terms of vector, it is 2I cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap. So we find displacement vector. Okay, this is first method. From the first method, geometric addition method, we got this. What is geometric addition method? Suppose there are 3 vectors. See, here the R1 bar, R2 bar, AB bar, OA bar, OB bar, AB bar. I want related between them. So draw the first 2 vectors as it is and draw the third vector from tail of the first vector to head of the second vector, gives the resultant of these two, that is OA bar plus AB bar is equal to OB bar. This is from geometrical addition of vectors. This is the first method. The next one is, second method is components method. Components method. This method, by adding vectors, let it be 3 forces acting on a body. I will explain with the forces x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. Let it be a first vector f1 bar, f2 bar x1 I cap minus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. Let it be like this. So these are the 2 forces acting on a body. I want resultant force. That is F is equal to F1 bar plus F2 bar. This is addition of vectors by components method. So you have to add, to get resultant vector, add components. Let it be, this is x2, x2, y2, z2, second vector. So if you want to add these 2 vectors, you add components, x component, x component. So you will get x1 plus x2 I cap, add j component, j component. You will get y1 plus y2 j cap plus z component plus z component, z1 plus z2 k cap. So this is the resultant of the addition of vectors. Okay, what is name of this method? Geometric method. From this you take this example. Okay. Take a problem. Suppose force acting on a body is, there are three forces acting on a body. That is, first one is 2I cap plus 3J cap newtons, and the second force, it is I cap plus J cap minus K cap newtons. Third force acting on the body is 3I cap minus 2J cap plus 5K cap. Let it be. These are the Newton's forces acting on a body. There are three forces acting on a body. Okay? These forces is represented in terms of vectors like this. Find resultant force. Find resultant force acting on a body. Acting on a body, I want. This is the first question. Find resultant force. If, second question, if mass of the body, mass is equal to 5 kg, then find its acceleration. This is the second question. Second question. Third one. Find the direction of acceleration. This is the third question. Fourth one is the body is in mechanical equilibrium or not? Mechanical equilibrium or not? Question mark. So these are the four questions you have to answer. Okay? Do you understand? There are three forces acting on a body simultaneously. These are the three forces. Acts simultaneously on a body. Okay? First question, we want a resultant force acting on the body. How? Resultant force. So first one answer is, we want resultant force. So the resultant force from laws of vector addition, I am using components method here. So F bar is resultant force. I take F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar. Since there are three forces, we can add three forces. So okay, F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar gives resultant force F. Now, what is F1 bar? F2 bar. You add x component, all x components. 2 plus 1 plus 3. That is I cap plus all j components. 3 plus 1 minus 2. So you have to use including sign, minus 2 j cap plus, here k component, that is z component, is absent. That means you take it as 0. So here k component is, z component is minus 1. So minus 1, 0 plus minus 1 plus 5. This is plus 5. That is k component. So you add. How I am adding vectors? This components method I am using. What is components method says? Add all x components, add all y components, or then add all z components. and multiply with the unit vectors. You will get resultant vector. Okay. So 2 plus 1 plus 3. So this is 6 I cap. 3 plus 1 4, 4 minus 2 plus 2 j cap plus minus 1 plus 5 plus 4 k cap. This is the direction of, this is the resultant force acting on a body. So this is resultant force acting on a body. So this is the answer for first question. Okay, find the resultant force on a body. This one is over. The second one is mass of the body. If mass of the body is 5 kg, find its acceleration. So we want acceleration, second one. So I will write here acceleration. So acceleration is from Newton's second law, we have F by m. From Newton's, I think you know the Newton's second law. F is equal to ma. Everybody knows this one. So you studied in lower classes. So acceleration is equal to F by m. So what is F here? F is 6 I cap plus 2 j cap plus 4 k cap. Here mass of the body is 5 kg. So you take better to take 2 kgs. Here I am changing the mass of the body. So mass of the body is 2 kg. So what is, you divide with 2, this vector, you divide with 2. So if you take 2 common, it will get cancelled. Here 3 I cap plus j cap plus 2 k cap. So this is acceleration. Units is meter second to the power minus 2. So what is acceleration is also a vector quantity. It is 3 I cap plus 2 j plus j cap plus 2 k cap. I take 2 common and cancel with this 2. Okay, we got acceleration. This is the answer for second question. Second question. Now third question. Find the direction of the acceleration. So we want a direction. As I said, how we can find the direction? Direction is, I am using cos alpha. Directional questions. Cos alpha is component of, x component of the force by magnitude of force, or acceleration of the force, x component of acceleration. Since we want acceleration direction, x component by its magnitude. This is cos alpha. So what is x component of acceleration? It is 3. It is 3 by what is magnitude of acceleration? Square root of 3 square 9 plus 1 square. I will write once again 3 square plus 1 square plus 2 square. 2 square. So what is, we will get cos alpha is equal to 3 by 3 square 9. 9 plus 1 10. 10 plus 4 root 14. So that gives alpha is equal to cos inverse 3 by root 14. This is the direction of acceleration. Alpha is the angle made by the vector with the x-axis. This is the direction. This is the direction with the x-axis. What is alpha here? What is alpha? Angle made by acceleration a bar with the x-axis. Our reference is x-axis. This is the answer. This much of angle or cos inverse root 3 by root 14 with the x-axis. This is the answer for third question. Okay, find the direction of the acceleration is over. Find is the body is in mechanical equilibrium or not. How we can say? This is very important concept, mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium. What is this mechanical equilibrium? If number of forces acting on the body acts on a body simultaneously, if the body is at rest, that means it is in static position, the resultant force is zero, then the body is said to be under mechanical equilibrium. So, if the resultant force is not zero, then the body is not in mechanical equilibrium. So, this is the concept of mechanical equilibrium. I will explain this mechanical equilibrium concept. Okay? This is the resultant force. See, what is mechanical equilibrium? Mechanical equilibrium. This is very important concept. Mechanical equilibrium. What is this? If resultant force acts on a body is zero. If resultant force acts on a body is zero, then body is said to be under mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium. So here I am introducing one important concept in physics. What is name of that concept? Mechanical equilibrium. When a body is said to be under mechanical equilibrium, if resultant force acts on a body is zero, then the body is said to be in under mechanical equilibrium. That is, if resultant force is F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar and so on. Like this, there are number of forces acting on a body. If this resultant force is zero, how we can add? Summation of all x components, summation of all y components. This is summation of all x components into I cap, summation of y components into j cap, summation of all z components into k cap. If this is under equilibrium, F bar should be zero, resultant force. That is, then if F bar is zero, then sigma Fx should be 0, sigma Fy should be 0, sigma Fz should be 0. Okay? Zero. So, if a vector is 0, then its all x components, y components, z components should be 0. It should not be non-zero components. It should be x component, y component, all the components of a vector should be 0. If any one of them is non-zero, then this vector is also a non-zero. So if it is non-zero, then it is not in equilibrium. If it is 0, then only it is under equilibrium. Okay? So in this example, the answer for fourth one is the resultant force is not 0. So in the above question, what is the three forces? F1 plus F2 plus F3. It is not equal to 0. Then the body is not in an equilibrium, not under equilibrium, not in equilibrium, under equilibrium. Which equilibrium? There are so many equilibriums. Here we are discussing mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium. If the resultant force not 0, then not in under mechanical equilibrium, not in equilibrium. So for the above question, the answer is they are not in equilibrium. Okay? So in today's class, we learned how the vectors is added by geometrical method and components method. For geometric method, suppose there are three vectors, A bar and B bar, C bar. You want resultant of three vectors, how we can add? Similarly, draw the first vector as it is. Suppose the first vector, second vector, third vector. It will be like this: A, B, C. I want to add these three vectors. So draw the first vector as it is, which represents both magnitude and direction. Draw the second vector from head of the first vector. This is the tail of the second vector, starts from head of the first vector, and which represents both magnitude and direction. The third vector, C bar, drawn from head of the second vector, which represents same magnitude and direction. Then from head of the second vector, this is the tail of the third vector, C bar starts from head of the second vector. Then you draw another vector, that is fourth vector, from tail of the first vector to head of the second vector, head of the last vector, gives the resultant of these three vectors, that is A bar plus B bar, let it be D bar. So the resultant after adding A bar plus B bar plus C bar will get another vector D bar, let it be D bar. So this is will get A bar after adding A bar plus B bar plus C bar is equal to D bar. This D bar is called resultant. How it is? If these vectors are taken in order, then this is closing, taken in the reverse order, represents the resultant of the given vectors. This is the geometric procedure for three vectors. Like this, we can extend for any number of vectors. First I explained for two vectors how we can add geometrically. Then I explained for 3 vectors. Like this we can extend for any number of vectors. Okay. Okay. Today I will stop with this. So what we learned today? So angle between the vectors and addition of vectors. Okay. Thank you.